Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy YouTube channel and podcast. This is Dr. Beverly, and today we have a very special guest, Eva Goulette, and she's going to talk to us today about the world is ready and the children are waiting. Eva is a best-selling author and the founder of Dancing Jaguar Spirit Camp, a program created to teach children the importance of balance between mind, body, and spirit. Aren't we all learning that today? To teach as many children as possible, Eva shares her specialized Spirit Camp curriculum through their Spirit Camp Teacher Program training, or training program. Can't read. Her mission is to empower and inspire the children of today so they can create the world of tomorrow, a world where all of us will thrive. Welcome, Eva.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beverly. It's wonderful to be here today.
And we're happy to have you. So, this is a great program you have. Tell us about your personal journey, how you got started in it, and why is this your passion?
Sure. Well, this all started for me after a traumatic brain injury.
Mm.
I have been living a spiritual life my entire life, but I was living in Southern California and was involved in a head-on car crash, and I received a traumatic brain injury as a result of that. And ended up moving back to Maine, where I grew up, and living with family members for about 9 years before I was able to live on my own again. And then as I was on my own, I started receiving messages at 3:20 in the morning that was about this really fun ways of introducing metaphysics and spiritual concepts to children. And I just at first thought I was having or experiencing symptoms from the brain injury. But over time, I realized that this was some really cool information I was being given. And I had always loved children and working with children. So I started borrowing children from my friends and sharing this fun information that I was being given in these downloads, and they were thriving. They loved it. The parents loved it. The kids were starting to connect to themselves. And over time, Spirit Camp evolved from those downloaded messages I was receiving in the middle of the night.
That's really incredible. So, what kind of challenges are you seeing with the children that you help?
Well, what I experience with the children is when they first come to Dancing Jaguar, they really are, for the most part, disconnected not only from themselves, but from their community, from other people. There
Mm,
seems to be such a reliance on connection to technology for children
mm,
today. And
mm.
I find that they're really disconnected from themselves and the world around them. And that's typically where we start.
They're living their life by watching others.
Exactly. And
Um,
we teach them how to focus on the inner.
Disconnect. Wow. So, what is your secret? I think you have some tools you use for helping them.
Absolutely, yes. Well, first of all, we introduce children to the concept that as human beings, we're made up of mind, body, and spirit. So
Hmm.
we talk about the fact that when they go to school, they're learning how to nurture their brain. And when they play sports and have after school activities, they're nurturing their bodies.
Mm,
And when they come take classes from Dancing Jaguar, they're learning how to nurture the essence of who they are, their spirit.
hmm.
So that's one big lesson that comes at the very beginning. And another is that we talk about the fact that as human beings, we're made up of energy, as is everything around us.
Hmm.
And those two huge concepts are ideas that are not typically shared with children. And they
No.
absolutely love that information because it
Mm,
gives them such a different understanding of who they are,
hmm.
and it teaches them new ways to be able to show up in the world
Hmm.
and to have more of an awareness
Hmm.
of who they are as they're showing up in the world.
And the impact their energy has.
Exactly,
A lot of
yes.
people don't understand that.
Hmm.
That's really powerful. I wish someone had taught me that as a kid.
Oh my gosh, I hear that from so many of the adults that bring their children to spirit camp. So, that's what ended up leading to me doing adult spirit camps as well, because all of
Ah,
us need this, no
yeah.
matter what your age.
Hmm.
None of us grew up with this information. And if we're just now starting to introduce this to children, everyone older than that needs to have this information available to them as well.
So this sounds like pretty profound work. How has this impacted you personally?
Well, I feel like my survival of that car accident opened up what my life's work is for me. I feel like my entire life changed as a result of that car accident, and that this is my life's purpose. This is why I am here.
Hmm.
And one of the messages I received one night was in a question form where the entity or entities that were giving me this information asked if I would be willing to be the voice in the face of this work, because they need to have someone to work through,
Hmm.
that is in physical form, to be able to bring this information to children around the world.
Hmm.
And when I gave that a wholehearted yes response, I feel like the world just opened up for me in my ability to show up, not just for myself, but I am showing up for the children of the world now.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
feel like um, I'm doing what is being asked of me, and I am living my life um, completely spirit led and spirit driven, and that's how I'm showing up in the world right now.
It's called being on the wheel of Dharma.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I once asked Kuan Yin, I said, why can't we have world peace? And she says, do you like free will? And I said, yes. She says, then you can't have world peace. And
Mm.
when you're on the wheel of Dharma, you're giving up your free will to do the will of the divine. And that's the
Hmm.
only way you'll have peace. Isn't that something?
That's
So,
really profound, isn't it?
yeah, and that's what you're bringing because we're all really children
Absolutely.
all learning.
Yes.
This is just incredible. So tell us about these spirit camps that you're running for the children and the adults.
Okay. So Spirit Camp started as a camp for 5 to 12-year-olds. And it started as a result of the information I was receiving in downloads. And I live in the state of Maine. So I started the first year just doing one camp. The second year was two camps, because remember, I was still recovering from a brain injury. And so over time, the number of camps increased. And then I started reaching out to friends of mine who lived in other states and asked them if I
Mm,
could connect with a local facility in their town and maybe come spend a week at their house in the summer, and see if I could spread Spirit Camp kind of organically by visiting some friends of mine in other states and locations. And that's really how Spirit Camp started spreading. Um, and the children are experiencing a different subject every single day. So the first day they're learning
mm,
about being a spirit in a human body, and they're learning how to build their sacred toolbox. The children
mm.
leave spirit camp at the end of a week with a cardboard shoebox that has become their spirit toolbox by the
Ah,
end of the week, and they leave with that like overflowing with things that they've learned how to use. So on Monday, we create a lot of the sacred tools that they're going to need to use throughout the week. On
mhm.
Tuesday, they learn all about being made up of energy, and they start learning about their inner energetic centers, their chakras, and their aura, their outer energy. And we start learning how to muscle test and how to use
Mm.
pendulums and dowsing rods to be able to pick up energy in others. And it's a really fun, full day for kids that they absolutely love. And then Wednesday, it's learning how to work with spirit helpers. And the children are all taught how to do shamanic journeying. And I'll tell you, Wednesday is probably the most fun day for kids. I mean, they love every day because they're learning new stuff every single day. But knowing that they're connected to a power animal and that they have someone they can go to for support or help when they need it, that really changes some
Yeah.
children's lives. It's incredible how powerful that is. And then on Thursday, we do a lot of inner work around learning how to manage thoughts and emotions.
Hmm.
And then on Friday, I feel like Friday is like the icing on the cake at Spirit Camp, because kids have spent the whole week exploring who they are, as a spirit being, as an energetic being. And then on Friday, we go outside and they learn how to connect energetically to the natural
To
world by
nature.
connecting
Oh.
to the trees and to the rocks and to the flowers in the garden. And that's when I feel like children understand the term "we are all connected" or "we are all one."
Mm-hmm.
Usually for most kids, those are just words,
Mm.
but
Well,
these
most
kids,
adults.
yes, but these kids embody that knowledge
Mm-hmm.
because they share their experiences when they're connecting to the energy of the tree or the boulder or the flower. So you really are hearing from these small little beings
Mm-hmm.
how much they are understanding our connection to everything around us. So these children, when they grow up, they're growing up with such a reverence for the natural world. Like, these are the peaceful warriors
Mm-hmm.
of the next generation. 20 years from now, I can't wait to see how these children are impacting the world around us.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. Yeah, I learned that when I studied shamanism as an adult, and I tell you, I love my power animals, and they come in handy all the time.
Hmm.
Um, so you also told me about some games and tools that you have, like
Well, one of the games that we play is called Chakra Shenanigans. And this is one of the very first downloads that I received from Spirit. And it's a game that resembles, I have it right behind me. Would you like to see it? It resembles
yes.
Pin the Tail on the Donkey.
Oh, there you go. That's the one you were telling me about. Yeah.
Right here. So, Chakra Shenanigans is a game that children play. And there was also a song that came with Chakra
Oh, cool.
Shenanigans. Yes. So the kids learn the song, which is super simple. And they sing the song, and the song has a different verse for each of the chakras. So
Hmm.
as the kids are playing the game, they are learning the color of the chakra, where the placement is, on the poster, and how that chakra impacts them in their life.
Mm.
So the children, as they're going through Spirit Camp, are having fun, playing games, singing songs, doing crafts, but they're learning these incredible life skills in really fun and playful ways. And that's what makes Spirit Camp, I think, so unique and so different in the world. It's not just the subject matter, it's the fact that the kids are having fun from the moment they show up to the time they go home.
Mm.
It really does feel like a summer camp to them, but it's got a completely different focus and emphasis, where the child is doing all of this inner work as
Hmm.
opposed to just learning how to do something, like they would learn in most camps.
And they don't get that in school.
No, not at all.
Wow.
Not at all.
And it seems to me they would be more psychologically balanced going through
The,
this.
oh, absolutely. I do believe so, because the kids have an opportunity, or they develop the confidence to be able to ask themselves questions, as opposed to having to run around and ask their friends if they should or shouldn't do something. These kids know how to muscle test. They know how to use a pendulum. They know how to check into their higher wisdom, or their intuition, and access information for themselves. So I feel like they grow up with more self-awareness and more confidence in their ability to make decisions that are in their highest good.
That's really incredible. And you also have a story of a starfish and a child. What's that?
Yes, this is a really powerful story about how power animals can really impact a child's life in a profound way.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a spirit camp in Virginia, And this child was having difficulty finding her power animal. And I could see that she was getting a little frustrated. So I asked if she would like me to do a journey on her behalf. So I did that, and I found the essence of starfish for her, which was really unusual for me. I had never encountered starfish as a power animal for anyone before. So I asked my helpers, my spirit helpers, why that power animal or that starfish medicine was so important for this child. And I was told that when a starfish loses one of its limbs, it will grow back
Go
again.
back, yeah.
It has the ability to heal itself. And this child was experiencing a lot of emotional turmoil. And she needed starfish medicine to know that she was going to be okay. And I kept thinking, how do I say that to an 8-year-old? So I asked for the right words to come out of my mouth so I could share that information with the child in an age appropriate way. And as I was sharing the information with her, she started patting her cheeks and just sobbing these tears of joy. And she kept saying, oh my God, you have no idea how much this means to me. Oh my God, this is so incredible. And I sat with her, I held space with her, I gave her plenty of space and opportunity to share more, but she opted not to. So, of course, I respected that. But later, when her dad came to pick her up, I felt like it was important to share with her dad the incredible response she had to learning about her power animal. And he said that he understood why it was so important to her, because she was just coming to terms with the fact that she felt like she was a boy trapped inside a girl's body.
Oh,
And that power animal that she was connected to that day was going to give her hope, because it was giving her, starfish medicine was giving her the knowledge and the medicine to know that she was going to be okay and she was going to heal. And her dad was so impacted himself with the fact that that was her power animal that they actually ended up changing that child's bedroom so that it was incorporating starfish into her bedroom so she could have that surrounding her. So she would always be reminded of the hope that she has and that she's going to be okay.
wow. So this is impacting the families as well, not just the children.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I have another story I'll share about a parent who actually shared that with me, how much it was changing her family's dynamics. There was a child who was 5 years old when she went through spirit camp, and her mom just really loved everything about spirit camp. So her mom emailed me a few months after the camp ended and said that she had come home from work really exhausted that day. And her daughter met her, 5 years old, and said, Mom, why don't you let me align your chakras before dinner? I think you'll feel better. And the mom said she was not only impressed that her daughter remembered that from spirit camp a few months before, but she realized in that moment that the children who attend spirit camp are able to become partners in the holistic well-being of their family, that it's not just from the parents down anymore, because these children have a wisdom and a knowledge and tools they know how to use so they can help support the other members in the family, which is huge. I'm not sure of any other opportunity kids have to really be like on an even playing field when it
Yeah,
comes to sharing their wisdom and knowledge for the well-being of the other family members.
that's really awesome. And that's a gift and a tool she can use for the rest of her life. She'll
Absolutely.
grow up to be a
Yes.
great healer. Wow.
Yes. And, I love the 5-year-old stories. I have another really fun one I want to share with you about a child in Massachusetts who came to spirit camp. And, they learned how, on energy day, they learned how to shield themselves and how to protect themselves from taking in the negativity around them. So this child went to school for the first time after spirit camp, full days to kindergarten, and on the bus back and forth each way. So it was a huge transition for her. And one day she missed her mom at lunch, so she started crying.
Mm.
And some of the older kids teased her and started poking fun of her. So when she got home and was relaying that story to her mom, I mean, her mom's heart was breaking, but she said, "How did you handle that?" And her 5-year-old child said, "Mom, I was fine. I know how to shield myself. I zipped up my chakras."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So when children have this kind of knowledge, they can use it at any point in time they need it, and they don't feel as vulnerable out in the world. They feel empowered with the skills and the tools that they've learned, and we see it over and over again by the stories that the parents contact us with after spirit camp has ended, when they share with us how the kids are incorporating these tools into their everyday lives.
Well, that makes the camp worthwhile. If you just learn something and do nothing with it, then, okay, you just spent time. But if you can actually integrate that into your life, that's really incredible.
Mhm.
Wow, what an impact this is making. So you must have a long-term vision for your spirit camps. What can you share that with us?
Oh, I would love to. Yes. Well, Spirit Camp for Kids started first, and then I had so many people asking me when so many adults asking me when they would bring their children to spirit camp, "I need this too. Can you make something like this up for me?" So now we have spirit camp for adults.
Uh-huh.
And then, because we've been doing spirit camp for a few years now, we have kids who are aging out of the little kids camp, the 5 to 12-year-olds. So now we're creating spirit camp for teens as well. So
Uh,
there will be a spirit camp for all age groups as of 2022.
wow.
And in addition to that, um, about 3 years ago, I received the message in the middle of the night that the world is ready and the children are waiting. And
Yes.
I thought that was validating just my experience of listening to spirit and following this vision that I was being given. And then I realized that I think I'm supposed to be writing this down and sharing it with other adults. And as soon as I made that connection, in the next 30 days, I had received emails or Facebook messages from people in 14 different countries that all said, "We don't have anything like this in our country. Can you bring this to us?" So that is when the Spirit Camp teacher training program started. And I started realizing, holy cow, that message from Spirit was it's so much bigger than I thought it was at first. Like, the whole world needs this. And the
Yes.
children all over the world are waiting for us to step up and share this wisdom and these tools with them. So the Spirit Camp teacher training program started in 2019 and was really just starting as an in-person training program when the world shut down in March of 2020. So I have spent time learning how to transfer that training program into an online platform. And now I see the wisdom of all of this in that this is how it can become a global program. I need to be teaching this online so people in other countries are able to participate in the teacher training program and bring this to the children in their countries. So it really is expanding and growing. And we really are looking for those people who are passionate about working with children and empowering children with metaphysical and spiritual tools to be
Mm-hmm.
able to not only nurture themselves, but nurture their communities and show up as the peaceful warriors of tomorrow.
That is incredible. That's really, really awesome. How can people find out more about you and the work you do?
Well, our website is dancingjaguarinspirations.com, and I can be reached via email through that. We also have a Facebook page for Dancing Jaguar Inspirations is the name of the company. So there's a Facebook page for that. And there's also a Facebook page for Dancing Jaguar Spirit Camp. So we can also be contacted through Facebook. And I think those are the best ways for right now.
Okay, wonderful. And you have a special gift for people as well, don't you? A free gift?
I do, yes. Thank you
Listeners?
for asking.
Okay.
One of the gifts that oh, not one of the gifts, one of the modules that we teach in Spirit Camp on Thursdays, which is the day that we help kids connect to thoughts and emotions. It's a module that we call Meeting Your Inner Critic. And I discovered the very first camp that I taught this in, how incredibly valuable this is, because the kids do a really fun meditation to kind of go into their brain and go into the control center in their brain and meet their inner critic and identify it and ask it its name. And then they come out of the meditation and they are invited to draw a picture of what they just saw, who they met. And in that very first camp, I experienced a 7-year-old who drew a picture of a child in the center of her drawing with a broken heart.
Hmm.
And around it were thought bubbles saying things like, "You'll never be cool. You're
Oh.
not good enough. You'll never be as good as me. You're ugly and fat like an ugly dog." And like these
Oh.
horrible negative things. And this child had just turned 7 years old.
Oh my.
And when I saw that, I realized, holy cow, this is a way that those of us who work with children can get some insight into what's going on in the inner worlds of the children that we love and support. So I not only continue teaching that module as a part of all spirit camps, even the adult spirit camp,
Hmm.
but I also share that module when I do education symposiums or teachers workshops, professional development classes for teachers. I do parent workshops. It's a module that I think is a way for all of us to understand in a new way what's going on in the lives of the children that we are supporting and loving. And then we have some insight into the negative voices that the children are experiencing, and we can start helping those children understand how to change those negative thoughts over time into more positive ones.
Yeah.
So after the children meet their inner critic, they also meet their inner champion. And I had one child, oh, he was so sweet. He said, "My inner champion is actually my grandfather who died before I was even born. He's the one that keeps saying, 'You got this, you can do it.'" So some really sweet stuff happening there. So anyway, the free gift that I have for people listening to this podcast is helping your child or children meet their inner critic and their inner champion. And it's a PDF that has the actual written script that I use, but it also includes an audio recording of both of those meditations. So when someone opts in to receive that free gift, they'll also have access to either being able to read the script aloud for someone, or they can play the audio version of the meditation.
That's really awesome. Well, for those of you on YouTube, the link is spiritcamps.ck.page/empowered children, and that link is down below. If you're on the podcast, I'm going to say it really slow so you can write it down. So it's spiritcamp.ck.page/empowered children, all one word. And that's the free gift. And then the link to Eva's website is dancingjaguarinspirations.com. Dancing, JAGUARINSPIRATIONS.com. And those links are down below if you're on YouTube. So this has been really wonderful hearing about the work and what you're doing. And I think a lot of the children being born today are very, very special. So waking them up
Mhm.
and giving them these tools is really, really awesome. So do you have anything else you'd like to add for our audience today?
Well, I would just like to finish by stating the message that I received a few years ago, that the world is ready and the children are waiting. And my question to all of your listeners is, are the children waiting for you?
Good one.
Yeah.
Well, it has been really great getting to know you and hearing your story and hearing about the camps. They're really, really exciting. And I look forward to hearing more from you in the future. So, everyone, thank you for listening. And remember, be the light you want to see in the world. Bye.
Thank you.